She is a good manager, that one, but the tongue like vinegar, and the poor colonel, he suffers much from it. If it were me, I would take a hatchet to her. I saw the advertisement in the paper, and the fancy took me to go once again to the place which first was my home in this country. At my age one enjoys reliving the past. Then, figure to yourself, I find here a gentleman, a baronet who is a friend of the employer, of your daughter. That phrase, it sounds a little like the French exercise, does it not? Immediately, I conceive a plan. He wishes to induce the Franklins to come here for the summer. I, in my turn, will persuade you, and we shall be all together, en famille. It will be most agreeable. Therefore, mon cher Hastings, dépêchez-vous. Arrive with the utmost celerity. I have commanded for you a room with bath. It is modernized now, you comprehend, the dear old styles. And disputed the price with Mrs. Colonel Luttrell until I have made an arrangement très bon marché. The Franklins and your charming Judith have been here for some days. It is all arranged, so make no histories. À bientôt. Yours always, Hercule Poirot. The prospect was alluring, and I fell in with my old friend's wishes without demur. I had no ties and no settled home. Of my children, one boy was in the Navy, the other married and running the ranch in the Argentine. My daughter Grace was married to a soldier, and was at present in India. My remaining child, Judith, was the one whom secretly I had always loved best, although I had never for one moment understood her. A queer, dark, secretive child with a passion for keeping her own counsel, which had sometimes affronted and distressed me. My wife had been more understanding. It was, she assured me, no lack of trust or confidence on Judith's part, but a kind of fierce compulsion. But she, like myself, was sometimes worried about the child. Judith's feelings, she said, were too intense, too concentrated, and her instinctive reserve deprived her of any safety valve. She had queer fits of brooding silence, and a fierce, almost bitter power of partisanship. Her brains were the best of the family, and we gladly fell in with her wish for a university education. She had taken her BSc about a year ago, and had then taken the post of secretary to a doctor who was engaged in research work connected with tropical disease. His wife was somewhat of an invalid. I had occasionally had qualms as to whether Judith's absorption in her work and devotion to her employer were not signs that she might be losing her heart, but the businesslike footing of their relationship assured me. Judith was, I believe, fond of me, but she was very undemonstrative by nature, and she was often scornful and impatient of what she called my sentimental and outworn ideas. I was, frankly, a little nervous of my daughter. At this point, my meditations were interrupted by the train drawing up at the station of Styles St. Mary. That, at least, had not changed. Time had passed it by. It was still perched up in the midst of fields, with apparently no reason for existence. As my taxi passed through the village, though, I realized the passage of years. Styles St. Mary was altered out of all recognition. Petrol stations, a cinema, 2 more inns, and rows of council houses. Presently we turned in at the gate of Styles. Here we seemed to recede again from modern times. The park was much as I remembered it, but the drive was badly kept and much overgrown with weeds growing up over the gravel. We turned a corner and came in view of the house. It was unaltered from the outside, and badly needed a coat of paint. As on my arrival all those years ago, there was a woman's figure stooping over one of the garden beds. My heart missed a beat. Then the figure straightened up and came towards me, and I laughed at myself. No greater contrast to the robust Evelyn Howard could have been imagined. This was a frail, elderly lady with an abundance of curly white hair, pink cheeks, and a pair of cold, pale blue eyes that were widely at variance with the easy geniality of her manner, which was frankly a shade too gushing for my taste. "It'll be Captain Hastings now, won't it?" she demanded. "And me with my hands all over dirt and not able to shake hands. We're delighted to see you here. The amount we've heard about you. I must introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Luttrell. My husband and I bought this place in a fit of madness and have been trying to make a paying concern of it. I never thought the day would come when I'd be a hotel keeper, but I warn you, Captain Hastings, I'm a very businesslike woman. I pile up the extra...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.